The new lower secondary competence-based curriculum emphasizes the integration of ICT to teach all subjects, and with a high level of creativity and possession of an inquisitive mind to find out more in ICT. I think all teachers can use ICT by finding out what actually transpires in their subjects, and they can actually organize the lessons to enhance learning. Today I bring to you how to carry out operations on matrices, find the determinant and the inverse of a matrix, and how to find a solution to a system of linear equations. Now, we are not going to carry out and use any VBA or coding any macros. We are going to basically use the inbuilt functions in Excel to carry out these tasks. Mathematics teachers and ICT teachers, get on board and let's get started. I am Emma Gidudu, a teacher of maths and ICT. Now here, I have a workbook which has already been organized with the simple formattings of these cells by simply adding there a fill of your choice. Say for instance, I would prefer has a fill of this color. So you can take time, organize such, then you can start the job. The matrix A we shall use, I have here 1, the first row and first column, press a tab key. 2, press a tab key. 3, press enter. 4, tab. 5, tab. 6, tab, press enter. 1, tab. 0, tab. -1, then press enter. Then matrix B shall use 2, tab key, 1, tab key, 0, tab key. Shall come back the second row, the first column, 3, tab key, -1, tab key, 4, press enter, then 1, tab key, 0, tab key, 7, press enter. Now these are the two matrices of 3 by 3 we are going to use. First we are going to carry out the operation of addition on matrix A and matrix B. Matrix A is having 3 columns and 3 rows. Now this is a square matrix, and a square matrix, we come back to some brief notes I organized here. If A and B, if A is equals to B, that is the number of rows is equal to the number of columns, that matrix is called a square matrix. For instance, this matrix A and matrix B, they're having the number of rows and the number of columns are just equal, meaning matrix A and matrix B are square matrices. So we go back to Excel. We are going to carry out operation of addition on these two matrices. First, highlight this region. After highlighting the region, because we are writing a formula, first write equals, open parentheses, highlight the whole of this region, that is C5 through E7, then close, then use plus, come and highlight H5 through to J7. I think first put the parentheses or the brackets, highlight the whole of this region, close it. Yes, then hold Ctrl Shift and enter. That's the resulting matrix. Then we come down the operation of subtraction. I use this square matrix. I just come and paste it over here, copy it, paste it over here, and then I also use B as this, copy it, and simply paste it over here. Then the formula is going to be written. The result is going to be here. So you highlight it. Wait a minute. Yes, the result is going to be written here for the difference of these two matrices. First, highlight the region, press equals, command, open brackets, highlight this region, close it, then minus, open bracket once again, highlight this region, close the bracket, then hold Ctrl Shift and enter. The difference comes right there. We go to the multiplication. You'll also first highlight this, copy this, paste it over here. I'm copying and pasting because to save time and use the same matrix. Copy it, paste it over this region. Yes. For multiplication, we shall also highlight the whole of this region, then say equals, then we shall write the formula is M multiplication. I think when you type the first three letters, Excel will detect the formula you want and it will provide it for you there. Then highlight the first region, put a comma, highlight the next region, and close the bracket. Then shall use Ctrl Shift and enter to get the final result. So this is the result of multiplying these two matrices. Just imagine in a flash of holding Ctrl Shift and enter, the result is got. But the rule of multiplication of matrices says shall multiply the row content by the column content, row content by the column content, row content by the column content to get the result. But here, with just a flash, you'll have to get the final answer. Now the transpose matrix I'm going to use matrix as a result of multiplication of these two matrices. I'll copy this, paste it over here. Sorry, it has failed to see the formulas, which means, let me see, use this. It's saying some reference points. Now let me use this to transpose a matrix. Shall go back to some small notes here. Matrix transpose is simply turning the rows of a matrix into columns. Now here we are going to turn this content into, and it sits in this column right here. Now what's the function we use? Shall also come and highlight this region and we say equals transpose. Type the first words and Excel takes it for the formula and it says what is the array or the range you want to use. Highlight the range. It is C26 through to E28. Yes, C26 through to E28. Close the bracket. Then hold Ctrl Shift and enter. It turns to 1 0 and stands in this column, and that way we would have transposed this matrix in just a flash. Now there is also another option of transposing a matrix. Let's explore the last option. I think let me paint this region. I think I'll pull the formatting over, pull it all over. Then I'll use this very matrix. We are going to use the paste special option. Shall copy this, then come and highlight over this region, then right click, come and look for paste special. Paste special, there is an option of transpose. Check transpose and click OK, and the work of transposing it using a function and using the paste special option is just equivalent. Let us finish with multiplying a matrix with a scalar. First, I use a scalar of say 5. You can use a scalar of your own choice. Matrix A, I'm going to use this one. I copy this and I paste it right here. Then the result of multiplying 5 times A shall first highlight all of this region, say equals 5 times, open brackets, the region or the array we are going to use the first row and first column of matrix A is G32, and the value of 2 sits in cell G32 through I34, close bracket, then hold Ctrl Shift and enter, and the result of multiplying a scalar with matrix A comes as that. So this is a simple attempt to find carryout operations on matrices. You can get numbers, try out, and come back and we continue with the inverse on this other page. Yes, welcome back. Now I want to find the inverse of a matrix. Then we shall also find the determinant of a square matrix. Once again, we said a square matrix is one where the number of rows is equal to the number of columns in the two given matrices, for instance A and B. Go back to Excel. First, I think I'll use the same matrix like 3 by 3. Copy this and paste it right here. Then I think I'll use the same. I want to find the determinant, and the same. First, let us find the inverse. The inverse of a matrix is going to sit right here. This region was formatted, but the color is kinda dull. I think let me use search. The inverse of a matrix shall highlight the whole of this region. Press equals. Inverse of a matrix shall say M, write the first letters. It is right here. M inverse, then the array or the range of cells right here. Close bracket. Then, as usual, we shall use the Ctrl Shift Enter as a combination, and that's the inverse right there. Then the determinant is going to sit right here. Cell was also formatted. Is it dark? I think. Let me use search. Now the determinant of a matrix. Imagine if you are to find the determinant of this matrix, 3 by 3. It is some long step. Now let us use a simple function. It's going to sit right here. First of all, say equals. Then we are going to write the formula is M. Write the first letters of determinant. There is a M determine. Use that, the array or the range right here. Then close bracket. Then as usual, we use the Ctrl Shift Enter command to get the determinant. It's right here. Change the font color maybe to white. Decrease its size. So this is how we find the inverse of a matrix, by simply using this function M inverse, then the determinant M determinant to obtain the determinant. You can try out the long method and check whether the answers actually are the same. Likewise to this, use the long method, find out whether the answers are the same. Take a minute, work out, come back and we continue with the system of linear equations. Yes, welcome back. We are finished to find the inverse and find operations, carryout operations on matrices. Now let us look at you finding the solution to systems of linear equations. Now we have this system right here with 5 variables. What we shall do first, we shall extract a coefficient matrix which is composed of values of the coefficients to the variables. We have the first coefficient is 2, 3, -1, 3, and 1. I think these are the coefficients. Then go ahead to extract the rest. Then the constant matrix, the result of the values which are on the other side of the equal sign. It forms a simple column matrix here. Now what do? We shall first find the inverse of the coefficient matrix, and in the previous example we saw how to get the inverse by writing this simple function, then put in the range and you get the final answer. What we shall do, we shall come over here, highlight 5 rows and 5 columns, I think right here. Yes, and write in the formula equals, and then M inverse, I think comes right here. Open it. Then the range is right here. The range is K4 through O8. Close the bracket, then Control Shift, enter. We obtain the inverse. Imagine to obtain the inverse of a 5 by 5. It is some cumbersome and hectic work, but with a simple function, the answer is right here. Now then, we shall multiply the result of the inverse with the coefficient, with the constant matrix. What do? We shall come and highlight the result will be in this range 5. It will be a column matrix with 5 entries here. So we shall also come and put in the first result, but first to obtain the inverse, what do? To obtain the final result, we multiply the result of the inverse by the constant matrix. And we saw with multiplication how to get the result. We get multiplication, we get this range times the other range. So we come back, highlight this region, then say equals M multiplication, I think it's right here. Then the first range, this one right here, then put a comma, then come and highlight the constant matrix and close bracket, then hold Control Shift and enter. The solution is right here. So here the value of V is equals to that, then W is equals to that, then X equals to that, then Y equals to that, and finally Z equals to that. So imagine if you are to carry out an ordinary calculation on papers. I'm sure a couple of papers will have to go, but simply using these simple functions, this, then to obtain the inverse using this function, it simplifies work. So in cases where you'll first obtain when the determinant of this matrix is 0, it means this system of linear equations has no unique solution. So what do? You'll have to go by hand, find the general solution using the Gauss-Jordan elimination method, then you can go forward. So I think this is a simple way to get and work with these simple math tasks. Yes, welcome back. We have seen how to find to carry out operations on matrices, addition, subtraction, multiplication, transposing the matrix using a formula, then simply using the paste special option. It is the paste special option. After copying, then go and select the paste special option. It is right there. Then how to find the product of a scalar with a matrix. Then later we saw how to find the inverse and the determinant of a matrix. Then finally, we have seen how to get the solution to a system of linear equations, and I said in case you see the determinant of this matrix is 0, then it implies you'll have to go by hand, because that system now means it has no unique solution. You have to find a general solution using the Gauss-Jordan elimination method by hand, then you can move on. Now, there was no VBA, and I used Office, which comes installed, that is Office 2013 on my PC. Then there are no add-ins, simply using the functions come inbuilt already. I think I cannot go without giving an exercise. I think can try this system of equations, extract the coefficient matrix, then get the constant matrix, likewise to this, and try them out and see whether the result comes out true. Calculate them manually, then put them in Excel and see what Excel will produce. Otherwise, I wish you the best, and thank you for taking time to watch this simple tutorial.